ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Spartan Up Podcast. I'm Jackson Bast here with McKaylee Miller. McKaylee, it was an up and down week for Mobac Athletics, huh?
Yeah, that's for sure. 6 of our sports competed this week, but it was definitely a 50-50 with wins and losses, and some things got canceled because of some weather, but other than that, it was going good.
What do you think kind of impressed you the most out of MBU this weekend?
I would say women's soccer for sure. I mean, we're gonna get into that more later this week, but they've continued to have a 3-win streak, and I mean, that's pretty impressive considering the beginning of their season, but they're doing amazing now, and that's amazing.
Yeah, no, it definitely was a rougher start for Coach Merrick and his girls, but they have found a little bit of a rhythm in their early conference slate. But Michaela, let's get into the kind of the results from the past week.
Yeah, so first for men's soccer, they played William Woods and ended up tying in that game. Anthony Capitelli was able to get the goal for that game, and now he is the leading goal scorer and point leader for men's soccer. Sean Stone was able to get 2 saves, and then we played against Grandview on Saturday and unfortunately took an L on that one from 0-3. There were some silly yellow cards that were given to us for some crazy situations. I think the first one we got was because we didn't have shin guards on. The second one we got was we didn't have shin guards on. So hopefully we can fix that issue going into the next week and make sure that we don't get those silly cards.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can ask for too much of a better result against that William Woods squad. I mean, they're a tough conference opponent. Long time coming from the AMC, and of course, you don't want to see a draw on the record, but the latter could have been really, really not in our favor. As we kind of queued up, women's volleyball had themselves a pretty solid weekend. Of course, sweeping Hart Conference opponent CMU 3-0, and then picking up that win on Saturday to bounce back from their really tough 3-1 loss in the Hart game of the week. Grandview, as Michaela has a little more insight on that.
Yeah, so first 2 sets, Ramsey was able to take it. On the third set, we were able to win by 2 points, and then that fourth set is whenever Grandview finalized that score. But overall, Alana Capella had 18 kills, Cassie Lee was able to get 5 blocks, and then Valentina Navarro had 45 assists, which definitely paid off because did you know she got Setter of the Week for the Heart?
And who got defensive player of the week?
Fernanda Perini.
So, although we went 2-1 and now sit at that second place spot in the Hart rankings, all in all, you can't say it was a bad week for the MBU women's volleyball squad.
Yeah, MBU knows how to get it done, and they were able to on their recent win against William Penn, getting that 3-0 win. And yeah, but coming up this week, they play Central Methodist on Thursday, and they also play against Lindsey Wilson College and Governors State University. So that'll be in a matchup for the MBU Classic that we are hosting at MBU, and it'll be a good tournament.
Yeah, and CMBU, obviously, they're trying to bounce back from a 3-0 loss. We head out to Fayette, Missouri on Thursday for that nightcap at 7 p.m. And like McKaylee said, we do host the MBU Classic here this weekend. The marquee matchup happening at 10 a.m. against a very tough receiving votes Lindsey Wilson College Blue Raiders squad, McKaylee. And, we played them last year, and it was a 3-2 reverse sweep. Actually, I remember watching that and hearing the play-by-play by Coach K, and we've lost in that second set, and he goes, well, they're going to need the miracle comeback to bring this one home. And they showed up and showed out. That was a big win for MBU. Kind of got that season going for them when they hosted, but of course you can't overlook anybody during the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, MBU, as soon as they've only had 3 losses total, right? So once they lose, they know how to get it back together, and they just go on another winning streak. So hopefully we can hope for that for this MBU Classic and take the entire win for that whole tournament. But yeah, moving on to cross country, We did the Bradley University invite, and we played a bunch of Division I teams like Bradley University and SLU out of St. Louis. And the women were able to place 6 out of 23. They performed a 5K, which I don't know about you, Jackson, but I mean, a 5K, that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive because I'm slow. How about you, Jackson?
Did you just ask me if I was slow on the podcast?
I was just making sure that you're.
I don't think I've hidden the fact. I was a big guy, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Everybody's gonna call me a faker here, all right? But my junior year, before I tore my labrum after surgery, I was running a 5K a day. And everybody's gonna look at me. They're gonna be like, "No way! You used to put one foot in front of the other repeatedly." I know it's insane, but yes, I used to be in some pretty solid. I mean, I went from, I guess it was like 350 down to 270 during for wrestling, but I don't wrestle anymore. So you can tell I put on a good bit of that weight. I don't need any snickering from the peanut gallery, but
LOL. So, wait, wouldn't that be funny if you could say you ran a 2K in 270 seconds?
a 2K?
Did I say 2K?
You just said 2K.
All right, I meant 5K. Wait, so a 5K is 3.2 miles, correct?
It's like 3.16, yeah.
Yeah, which I've never ran that far in my life. So I think that's pretty impressive if they're able to do that.
What was Max having you guys do in the preseason last year except for run?
Okay, maybe we did run at least up to 3 miles. Like in a lacrosse game, you're running a good amount, but I'm not keeping track. I guess my watch is, but I really don't pay attention. I'm just laxing it up, you know? All right. Well, Isabella Monte, she placed 17th out of, what was it, Jackson? I think 150?
Yeah, there were 150 girls at the Bradley Invitational.
Yeah, so she placed 17 with a 17:39 5K time, which, I mean, come on, that's so impressive. Adrienne Roquette placed 50th with an 18:48. And then on the men's side, they placed 7th out of 23, but they ran even further with an 8K, Jackson.
Yeah, I'm not 5K. I feel like it give me 6 months of training. I think I could get back into running a 5K. You're not going to see me much more than, I think on a good day, I think I could get around 4 miles when I was training consistently, because that's all I was running, because I wasn't wrestling because of my shoulder. But an 8K, that's just a little out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, me as well. But it isn't out of a comfort zone for Philip Cackley, as he placed 43rd, and then Nicholas Furr, he placed 47th, and then we got Brandon Etheridge placing 68th, which, like I said, overall they placed 7th out of 23. Pretty impressive. But yeah, their next run is in Cedar Rapids, Iowa at the Seminole Valley Stampede on October 4th, which is, let's think here, 12 days from now. So they've got a lot of time to prepare for their next run.
Yeah, they've got a big race coming on. But all that said, of course, the football squad hosted the Heart Clash of the Week this week. Unfortunately, not going in the favor of the Spartans, losing 41-14. And, we caught a couple of lightning delays. We were able to get back in the field midway through the third quarter after the first hour-long delay, and then caught another delay before eventually falling and having to cancel the rest of the game. And we fell 41-14. If you guys want a little more insight as to how that game went, go ahead and take a watch on the MBU Coaches Show that was posted this morning. That featured Dr. Guy Danoff posting Coach B as he kind of regaled us of what was going on prior to their next matchup against the 12th ranked Mid-America Nazarene Pioneers.
Amazing. Well, something that we've been waiting to talk about is Lionel Banks hitting 2,000 career rushing yards for the first Spartan in MBU history. Tell us a little bit about Lionel.
Yeah, no, so Lionel, obviously a good senior running back. Unfortunately, he's not getting to see nearly as much time that we've seen. We've seen Calvin Griffith got a little bit more action in the last couple games. He's nearing that big touchdown record, McKaylee, that he's pretty close to catching.
Yeah, I think he only needs 3 more. Yep, so once he hits that, I mean, come on, this guy's a stud. All right, well, for men's and women's tennis, they played against Maryville for that scrimmage like we were talking about last week, but I think it got a little bit delayed from weather as well, so looking forward to this week. They're playing at the ITA Regionals in South Bend, Indiana on Thursday, and I believe Friday and Saturday as well for a big old tournament.
Yeah, and I was able to talk to Coach Goodyear a little bit about it, and he's very confident about his men's squad heading up there this week and his women's squad alike. But he thinks we can send a couple of them to ITA Nationals. Of course, we're quite the threat when it comes to doubles, so you don't want to see us when it's just one-on-one.
Do you think we could do a double?
Do you think you and I could play the ones who can't do a 5K? You think we could pick up 2 tennis rackets and try to hit the I no.
What? Okay, that's messed up, Jackson. I'm actually hurt by that. I mean, I
You
guess you do have to run in tennis, right?
I mean, you have to be you can't be like it's not like you have to be quick or you have to have endurance,
Do you
and,
play
like, we have
pickleball?
neither.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't play pickleball.
All right. I'm pretty good at pickleball, which is similar to tennis, right? Or is the court way bigger in tennis?
Oh, just a little bit bigger.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you, honestly. I'm not confident in my playing abilities for tennis, but moving on to golf. Women's golf did not play this past week, but they play again October 6th at Tapawingo for our tournament. And then men's golf they're playing actually right now, I believe. And they will be playing into tomorrow in Illinois at the TPC Deer Run.
I just wanna check, yes. So, you said October 6th and 7th is the MBU Invitational?
Yes.
Well, we are hosting it, but this one is going to be at the Spencer T. Olin
Ooh.
golf course instead of our Tapawinga, which we will host an event in the spring. But I don't think there's anything else to talk about before we get to the break. Is that right?
That's right.
All right. Well, when we come back, we will have the one and only, the legendary Gummeister Natalie Gum here on the podcast right after this break. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Welcome back, MVU Spartan Up Podcast listeners. I'm Jackson Bast here with women's soccer standout, the lovely Miss Natalie Gum. Natalie, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, guys. Thanks so much for having me.
How have you been, Natalie?
I've been good, been better, but, a little sore into this part of the season, but, it's a good type of sore. It's a good sore.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you guys are on a 3-game winning streak, so I bet you are feeling amazing mentally. Maybe not physically, but I'm sure mentally you guys are feeling a little bit better. So I just wanted to ask you a few questions. So the beginning of the season was a little bit of a tough stretch. What do you think that the biggest challenges the team faced early on there?
Yeah, I do think, I've only been here for one previous season, but from what I know from that season, as well as heard from other seasons, we always kind of start out with a really tough preseason, just to really get comfortable and start to learn each other on a high level. So when we do play our regular level games, or what you would say like our conference games, we are ready and we're prepared for that high level of play. So I think the biggest part of that and that challenge is learning each other and getting to know each other while also playing at a higher level than we are already used to, especially with the incoming players, the freshmen, the transfers, bringing them in and trying to work with them on positioning and getting the ball moving and, really working up the field together as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, the beginning of the season, you guys started off playing number 8 Cumberlands, which that is crazy to start off the season. And then back again for number 14. I mean, you guys are playing ranked. And then you play number 19. Like, that's crazy to start off the season there. So I can't even imagine. But now you guys are on that 3-game winning streak.
Yeah, the wins are definitely something we take and try to run with. It's something that we haven't got a lot of. So that very first one was like oh, thank the Lord type of moment.
Yeah.
But, um, we do need to keep that mentality up, keep that focus strong, and we really just need to put the ball in the back of the net if I'm going to get down to it. Like, we've gotten a lot of opportunities in each game. Like, the games we've lost, we've had a lot of opportunities. The games we've won, we've got a lot more opportunities that we didn't fully capitalize on, and we just really need to knock it in the back of the net.
Yeah, and let's talk about that for a sec. I know I've been on the field for most of the women's matches, and unfortunately, that's been the name of the game. Even in that really tight Harris Stowe match, you guys were so dominant with the possession early in that match. You guys had so many opportunities, and unfortunately, and that's honestly kind of been the name of the game. You guys have been knocking on the door, but you just can't put it through. What do you think was the biggest thing that's changed? And obviously, you guys are still getting over that hump, and maybe not exactly where you want to be yet, but what have been some of the bigger changes when you guys have come into this winning streak?
Yeah, so going all the way back to that Harris Stowe game, that was not the best, obviously. Definitely not the outcome we wanted to have from that game. And, you know, more or less like the other games, those kind of took a toll on us in a sense of like, darn, like we lost, but we played really hard in those other games. We came into the Harris Stowe game and it was almost like we weren't playing like we usually play. And it kind of kicked us in the butt a little bit, obviously, with coming out of it with a tie when, and like you said, Jackson, you've been there, and thank you for coming to our games, and being there for the team and everything. But you definitely saw like how many opportunities we could have had that were very easy, slight tap-ins that just didn't go in our favor. And I think that was a slight turning point in the mentality of the team as well, to be like, okay, like we really need to pick it up. We really need to get going in on this. Like, this was a game we should have won. This was supposed to be one of the games that we capitalized on, and we didn't. So coming into the Culver Stockton game after that, knowing like, okay, this is another team just like Harris-Stowe. Like, this is one of the teams that we probably should capitalize on. We really came into that game full force and finally knocked a few in the back of the net, pulling out a win while also having a strong defensive line behind us. It was a much better outcome for us.
Yeah, whenever I was watching from the box the Culver Stockton game, I remember just saying out loud, I'm like, this team is looking so good. Like the chemistry was there, everybody was communicating, everybody was working together. And I feel like sort of previously I sort of noticed from the box that everybody was sort of working by themselves and they weren't really trying to work together and it wasn't clicking quite yet, which isn't expected as a team in the beginning of the season playing high-ranked teams. But yeah, against like Culver Stockton, I was like, this is going to be the turning point, and you guys are. I knew last week, I believe I said, I'm like, I'm really excited for women's soccer because they're gonna just keep on winning. So overall, though, how do you feel? Like, how do you stay motivated whenever you guys do have that losing streak? Do you think that adds strength to your team? Is that something that sort of took you guys down a bit? Or, yeah, just how do you stay motivated?
I'm not gonna lie with you, it is hard. It is really hard. Especially like as a senior and as a captain, like I want these girls to have the best first seasons for our freshmen. I want my sophomores to have a great season. I want my juniors and my fellow seniors to have a great season. And starting the season like that always is just so mentally draining. Not to mention we do wake up and have practice at 5 in the morning every day. And so the mentality, it drops. It drops a little bit. But we do have a lot of this year, we definitely have a lot of motivation. We have a lot of care for each other, I feel. So like somebody messes up on the field, you're hearing hey, it's okay, calm down, we'll fix it, we'll talk about it later. It's not a like you just messed up the whole game type of moment. You know what I mean? And that's what really keeps our heads level and trying to, sometimes you gotta get on each other, obviously. Sometimes it's like, oh, okay, pick it up. But it is really just coming down to like how the team is holding each other and being able to push through and know like, hey, these are tough games. It's supposed to be a tough game. We need to come out. We need to come out stronger for the next one. And that's the whole mentality of this year. We've got a lot of fight in us. We haven't backed down even on these really tough losses, which helps with the mentality as well. It is that fighting mentality that's going to push us to the end and hopefully keep us going.
For sure. And I remember when I played lacrosse, being a senior and a captain, I had sort of that same mentality as like, you have to make sure that the relationships that you're building is what's going to be in your life after the field. And so that's something as simple as saying, hey, it's not your fault in that situation. And it's like building that relationship with your teammates is so important. And that's awesome that you guys are still doing that from that losing streak and then now onto the momentum shift of the winning streak. But was there like a specific game, moment, conversation that like helped flip that momentum for you guys?
Ooh, I don't know if it's specifically. I think it was literally our continuation of trying to just keep the team motivated. I know, like, I've talked to my fellow captain Ellie about it all the time. I'm always like, what can I do? Like, what can we do to keep the team on like a high of emotion instead of letting us drop to that low emotion after these hard losses? And, it's always just motivation, 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 while also like fixing the weaknesses that we are having. And when you fix those weaknesses, whenever you start to pick up on the moments, it just changes the whole game, obviously. Like you said, there's a click in the game where you're like, oh, okay, we kind of got it. I will say as a midfielder, I do feel like we've been a lot more composed recently. Since the Culver Stockton game, I think we've got our movements a bit better. Um, and I do think the Harris Stowe game, like I said earlier, that was kind of like and even in my head, the Benedictine game, both of those to me, I was like, what the heck is going on, girls? Like, we aren't supposed to be losing these games or tying these games in this sort of way. Like, we got to pick it up. And I think there was a little bit of a shift in the practices there from then on out too. Like, uh, we need to pick it up. We can do this. We're able to do this. We just need to know that we can do it, building up the confidence.
Yeah, and you mentioned Ellie. We've talked about several other marquee players for this squad, and what's different. I mean, there's going to be a lot of question marks coming into the season. You guys lost a pretty heavy, important senior class, and you guys have had to step up. What's this team? What makes this team different?
What makes this team different? I would say, honestly, our technicality in the midfield's a lot stronger. I do think we had a lot of good players we had a lot of speed last year. Does that make sense? I would say this year we've got a lot more technicality. I think we've got girls who understand the game more. And I do think we kind of have a little bit more of a mix of an older and younger team. So it kind of helps in that learning together stage because there's always things that we can learn as the older end of the team, as well as like helping teach the younger end. And then there's stuff that we can always learn from the younger end as well. So there's a good mesh between the two that I don't think we really had much of last year. And I do think there is a better chemistry that makes this team different. Like this team, like not just Ellie, like I have a fellow captain of Piper and Emma, and us four are communicating a lot this year. And we're really just trying to do things to bring the team together and create this environment that you want to be in, that you want to play in, and that you want to win in. And I think that's what you really need to capitalize on to make that team different, to make that team a winning team.
Yeah, and you mentioned Emma Seltzer, another senior captain. Unfortunately, she suffered an injury in that first match versus Cumberland, and I know that's got to be a tough battle to
Oh, man.
overcome.
Man.
And I've just got to ask, like, talk about her impact and how it's affected y'all's team, and not only that, but like her impact now. Like I honestly, one of my favorite things to see in that pre-match are all the amazing handshakes that go on before you guys run off
Oh
the
my
field.
goodness. I love Emma. Emma's great. Emma's so great. I'm in the center mid with her too, specifically. Emma last year Emma was the defensive center mid and I was the 8, the attacking and defensive center mid. So I work a lot with Emma. So losing her was like a shot to the heart. It hurt. It hurt the team for a minute there. We did regain. We do have girls capable and willing to step in and take that role. But it just kind of bit a little bit more because it is Emma, and it is a captain of ours and a senior, and, I'm so happy that, like, she still comes to everything she can. Obviously, she comes to all the practices, she comes to all the games, And she is always there and doing she's just amazing. She's a great captain, honestly, and her handshakes are beautiful. I will say I love going up into it and her going, I forgot it. And I'm like, oh no. And she does it and I'm like, just do this, We're just gonna wing it. It's awesome. But her main staple is the stanky leg and she eats it up every time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've got to ask, is that like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that seems a little dated now.
Oh no.
A little dated.
Eats it up.
No, she does.
Hey,
100%.
we're also bringing back the dab.
Oh.
Our team is bringing it back. You should see us out there. We are dabbing. We are stanky legging it up.
I think that's valid. I tried to bring back hit the quad.
Hey, we're bringing that back next. Okay, stay tuned. We're hitting the quan. We're hitting the whip and all of it. Okay.
Yeah, do it all.
Hey, that's what makes us different, Jackson. That is what makes this team different.
Yeah,
I mean, like you said it, but I'm sitting here and I'm watching you guys hit all these things, and you talked about it, the chemistry of this team. Like, you guys look like, even in some of those hard losses, like, you guys look like you're having fun out there. Like, you're just enjoying it.
Yeah, it is. This team is a lot of fun. This team really does have a lot of fun together, and I'm happy to have this team from my senior year, from my final year. And it really does feel like they got your back. Like, I might get yelled at on the field, but after I'm walking over and we're hugging. You know what I mean? Like, I'll say, me and Casey, bro, we get into it sometimes. And then after the game, we're both hobbling over to get a bag of ice together. Like, you do what you do because you're family. You know what I mean? And this team really does feel like a family. And I'm not gonna cry. But I do love them a lot. They are a very fun team, and that is our biggest change this year, I feel, is the chemistry that we are bringing. We even have Dina laughing and hitting the dab at practice. Like, come on now.
That's awesome, honestly. Like, you saying that gave me goosebumps because that's exactly how I felt being in your position last year playing lacrosse, was that I was a senior captain and I'm trying to change the chemistry for the better. And it's like, once you're able to change those relationships and have motivation with your teammates and have those close relationships with each other on the field, even the bench players, being close with them, like, it changes your life. And the next moments in your life, you're always going to have them after that. But if you stay negative, then you're not going to have those people after soccer. So that's awesome to hear. So how you guys are 3-1 in the heart now, which is awesome, but you guys have a lot of heart matches coming up. So what would you say, how do you expect the rest of heart play to go, and what do you look forward to the most?
So we do have a really challenging week ahead of us. I will say that. I wouldn't say last week was an easy week by any means, but I will say last week we had a bit more wiggle room. We kind of knew what we were getting into. We've played William Woods before, and we had an idea of that game from previous years. Now, the teams we're playing against are ranked pretty high, and they do have higher stats right now than we do as far as points wise and everything. But I do think we can compete. I think that we do have a fighting chance. I think that, like I said earlier, our fight is one of our strongest things we have, and we're going to need to really push through on that one to try to keep this winning streak alive. And I do believe in these girls, and I believe that we can win these games. It's just that, again, it's knocking it in the back of the net. We need to capitalize on every chance we get, and that's what it comes down to. We do get a lot of chances. For the amount difference in the scores, if you really go in and look at our shooting's not far off from how many shots they get on our goals.
Yeah.
So if we start hitting those into the back of the net, I think we've got a really good chance.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you guys have 9 games left, so I think we're about halfway through.
That's crazy.
Is that a lot for you?
No, that's like, to me, they said we had 11 the other day, and I almost started crying. So I was like, that's it?
Oh, that's so sad.
That just seems like so little.
That's the halfway. That's the halfway.
We are the halfway mark.
For the regular season, that's the halfway mark.
That is so sad as a senior.
I didn't realize it until right now. Like, that's wow.
Do you need
don't get emotional on the podcast, please.
I won't get screwed on your mic. Don't worry.
I was gonna say they're not waterproof.
It's serious.
Yeah, come on, we don't have the budget for that.
Yeah.
Natalie Gum cries on podcast.
Hey, I'm getting views. That's all I'm caring about.
Whoa.
All right. Well, while we're talking about being strong in the heart, who would you say on your team would win in an arm wrestling tournament?
Okay. It comes down to 2, okay?
Uh-oh.
And I'm giving it to either Ellie Malish or Sydney Hollenberg, bro. You should see that girl in the weight room. Sydney eats up. And I'm thinking, but you got to watch Ellie lift some weights, okay? It's like I'm standing there and I'm just, wow, okay? I'm like, wow. So those 2, it would come down to those 2. If it was an arm wrestling match with any of these teams, though, we're winning.
Any team, like any team at Mobest?
Any teams in the heart. Any teams in the heart. Whoa. Don't quote me on that, okay? Don't quote me on any teams at Mobab. They're going to come for me.
I know. They're going to like DM MBU Athletics and be like, hey, can we start that arm wrestling tournament?
Yeah, dude, I think, but I will give Ellie and Sydney a fighting chance at that, though.
Do you think you'd be a part of, at least the semifinals?
I think I laugh too much.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I would sit there and I'd be like really serious. And then the minute I make eye contact, I'd be like, you look funny. We're done. And then that's it. And I start laughing.
You distract him and you're like, boom, you look funny.
Okay, I'm not letting you get away. You're going to have to tell us who's going to win between Ellie and Sydney.
Oh, no.
Anyways, I like the part we're going to clip for the podcast.
Oh, no.
The publicize. Be like,
That's it.
She thinks it's this one.
It's this one.
Do you need their picture pulled up?
Yeah, show me just a picture of their arms, though.
Picture of their arms?
I need to zoom in on their arm.
Oh, gosh. This is nice.
Ellie, so specifically, bro, Ellie, we actually had lift this morning. And Ellie does a drop set after every set. And I'm like, this girl's crazy strong. Ellie is crazy strong. And then Sydney's at my rack. And her and Kyla are just balls of energy. So when I look over, I'm like, Sydney just lifted like 50 pounds with her arm, like her single arm. Like, what's going on? Could not be me. Let's put it that way.
I'm trying to find a picture.
Who do you think it's going to be, McGailey? Who would be your guess?
You could take a guess. Look at Ellie's arm right there.
Okay, Ellie's arm.
She's actually pricing in that picture.
Wait, the next one she definitely is. I think I hit it twice. Oh my gosh. Ellie's winning. I don't even need to see the other.
You know
girls'
what? I'm taking Sydney Hallenberg.
You gotta see Sydney.
No, she I don't know what
She
it was during the video shoot for y'all's thing. She goes, yeah, let me just pick this girl up over my head.
It was Kyla.
Yeah, it was so casual.
She just lifts her. She just throws her across the field. It's insane. It's awesome. I because Sydney's at my rack. Oh, but Ellie's my fellow captain.
Choose wisely.
Man, this bites. I shouldn't have said 2. But I gotta give it to them. They're both so strong. They're strong girls. I'm gonna give it to Ellie. Sorry, Jackson. I am gonna give it to Ellie.
Tragic.
Mainly because the flexing photo is amazing from Ellie.
It really
And
is.
also, like, seriously, she does. She is a very strong girl.
Well, I mean, we may have to put this to the test.
We may need to schedule that, actually.
Schedule this. Just
I will
let's do
schedule it and have
Winner
you
gets
come
Mac
on.
truck over there.
We can have. Oh, against me?
Well,
Yeah.
Come on.
McKaylee, she comes up to anybody and just I want
might.
to arm wrestle. She's asked me to arm wrestle 5 times, and I'm like,
Oh, she could be
dude.
me.
I lie to people and tell people that my dad's a professional arm wrestler. In reality, he's a plumber. I mean,
Okay, that's kind of the same thing.
wait,
Mario. So
Super Luigi.
That's kind of the same thing.
he's Luigi.
He's Luigi.
No,
Mario.
I would say he's more Mario than Luigi.
Well, Natalie, thank you so much. It has been such a pleasure having you on the podcast this week.
Yeah, thank you guys. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Good luck this week.
Good luck, of course. And the women, of course, travel to Fayette, Missouri at 5 p.m. on Wednesday to take on Central Methodist and then stay on the road for a couple more matches before we see them back at Spartan Field on October 11th, Saturday at 3 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break before we bring it back to end the pod. Thank you. And we're back for the final wrap up of the pod. McKaylee, what are you most excited about this week?
I am most excited for women's volleyball. We are hosting the tournament. I believe it's called Missouri Baptist University Classic because we are very classy here at MBU. But yeah, we're playing 2 games on Saturday, and I'm just excited to watch women's volleyball again. I believe I'm going to be statting that game, so I'm going to be every time somebody touches the ball, I will be speaking. So I will not run out of things to say because they touch the ball every second. What about you, Jackson?
I'm excited to also see women's volleyball back at home against a very tough Lindsey Wilson squad, like I talked about earlier. I won't be talking nearly as much as you will, which I'm sure is kind of a first for most people.
Yeah, I was about to say thank goodness.
Well, I don't talk that much.
Yeah, you just yeah, you do.
Do I yap? Am I a yapper?
Yeah, I was just talking about this. I think Peyton was there to witness it. I was talking
You
about
you
it.
just think you just like this guy yaps like a lot.
I quite literally said Jackson just wants to yap.
Is that a problem?
And I used the terminology yap.
Is that a problem? Am I
I mean-
allowed to yap?
You're allowed to yap, but if you're taking pictures, no need to yap.
I'm not taking pictures when I'm yapping. I'm yapping.
All right. All right. Well, thank you for joining the All right. Yeah, thank you for joining us today. Natalie Gum, amazing. Missouri Baptist, amazing. We could not do it without our viewers, also known as listeners. But one day we're going to come back and we are going to have this on YouTube. We're actually going to host the arm wrestling tournament on YouTube. So be there or be square.
Quit telling people all these things. But ladies and honestly, I thought you were about to do like PBS. Couldn't be possible without viewers like you. Thank you. Like I thought that's what you were getting into a little bit.
Okay, you got it.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for enjoying a whole another week of the Spartan Up Podcast from McKaylee Miller. I'm Jackson Bass. And stay classy, Spartans.